Hi everyone. Today we are moving to a new chapter. As you can see on the board here, Didi. This is not an English word. This is a name, a pet name. I hope you understand the word pet name. Something that our moms or fathers or relatives call us, right? Like somebody will be called, many names are there in between Keralites, and in according to the district it would change, right? Like there are many words in English also use it as a pet name, and it would be something simple. People call with people with great relation, they only call that. Anyway, this is a name of Shaheen Mystery. This is a chapter of Shaheen Mystery, Didi. She named this chapter Didi because she tells her own story or her own experience in this topic or in this story like narration of a biography. Okay, this is from your third unit, and the second chapter from your third unit. You have one more chapter, stammer in this unit. Okay, so Didi, don't forget. Before going to know about Didi or the chapter, I have told you we are going to explain about Shaheen Mystery. So let's know something regarding her. I will read it for you. Shaheen Mystery, an Indian social activist. So whenever you write for examination, whenever you're asked to write about Shaheen Mystery or her profile, the first point, she is an Indian social activist and educator. She comes from a field of education, no any other business field. Last chapter of Three-Wheeled Revolution, we were talking about Irfan Alam, right? And we were talking about how to tackle problems and how we can find a new method of business. Like that, this is also another startup in case of education, not altogether something to make profit from education, something other like a charity or a social activity. Okay, that's why Shaheen Mystery is a social activist. She is a founder of Akansha Foundation, and we are talking about this Akansha Foundation in our chapter. We will be explaining that. Okay, we've explained that. Akansha Foundation. This is a startup by Shaheen Mystery, Akansha Foundation, an Indian educational initiative in Mumbai. So what do you mean by Akansha Foundation? Is an Indian initiative in Mumbai, of educational initiative in Mumbai, Pune, and it is also, she is also CEO of Teach for India. This is another one, Teach for India, and another program or another thing which India implemented, Teach for India. Since 2008, Shaheen Mystery is the CEO of this program. Shaheen Mystery was born in Mumbai, India, so she is an Indian. She had an international upbringing and grew up in various countries. So as her father was a banker, he had to move from country to countries. That's why she was brought up in different countries. So it means she has international experiences. Okay, so like countries including Lebanon, Greece, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, and United States. And she moved countries with her father, a senior banker. He was a senior banker with a Chitti group. After attending a boarding school in Connecticut, she moved to India for higher education. So after she have attended her school there, then for the higher studies or the graduation or undergraduation, she came to India. She graduated with a BA degree in sociology from St. Xavier College, University of Mumbai later. Then she came to India and she took her BA in sociology from where? From St. Xavier University, obtained a master's in education from University of Manchester University. She got masters in education, like what we call MEd here in our Indian situation. Before launching the Akansha Foundation, Shaheen's interest in children's education led her to volunteer as a teacher in diverse organizations, different organizations in Mumbai. Before starting up Akansha Foundation, she was also fond of children's education. That's why she started another thing, and she was teaching for many other organizations in India. Okay, such as Happy Home. So she was a teacher of Happy Home, School for the Blind, and EAR, School for the Hearing Impaired. Impaired means people with different able. So if they have any problem with ear and listening, there was a special school for them. So Shaheen Mystery was part of that. In this paragraph or in this slide, I was explaining you something about Shaheen Mystery. She is an Indian. Why I tell you about her, she found Akansha Foundation, an educational improvement or an educational program for Indian people, for poor people of India. So why she came to that, how she came to that point, before that you should know about that author. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So don't forget about her international experiences, and she came back to India to have her undergraduate degree in BA Sociology from Mumbai. So that's all about Shaheen Mystery. So before going to the chapter again, let me tell you one more thing. There are people who are daring enough to go any extent to pursue their dreams. That's a great word. Whenever we have dreams in our life, we will go to pursue that to any end if our dream is true and sincere. Whenever we ask to someone what's your dream in life, maybe you will talk outburstingly with many things. But it's not like that. This is real dream which Dr. APJ says, something that doesn't let you to sleep. Okay, for them, success is not just about money or popularity. It is something beyond this. So whenever we talk about success, there are not only one way to get succeed, not only about making money, but what is real success for them. See, many young people are into social enterprises which demand a lot of commitment and hard work. Many people are coming with different enterprises, different programs, but with a social commitment, right? That's a great point about the new generation also. Whenever they come with a plan, they are thinking about giving a social improvement also. Apart from doing a business, apart from making money and popularity, they always think about social service also. Okay. They reach out to the community in their own way and try to make a difference for them. So for such people, for many people, making money and popularity is success. For the people who always think about society and about the people in the society and thinking about upbringing the people, for them what is happiness? For them what is success? Success means happiness for themselves and for others. Just underline this point and mark it. Just think about this all time. Real happiness is happiness, or real success is happiness for ourselves and happiness for others also. There are many people, they are becoming happy day by day, but same time they left or they leave someone behind sad. So in your career or in your life, whenever you wanted to be happy, try to make others also happy. Okay, that's a real friendship, that's a real social commitment, that's a real social enterprise. At least be a cause or be a reason for the smile of others. Whenever you do something, and if others can smile thinking about that, you are a great personality, or then you are a successful person also. That's all about Shaheen Mystery. So the following extract is a true story of a girl. This is a girl. That girl is Shaheen Mystery. She explains everything in her own language. That's a chapter here. So read the textbook here. Okay. Your text or the chapter starts with small lines, not some broad or complicated lines. This is written by Shaheen Mystery when she was 12 years old. Look, we people are 16, 15, 17. Look at your contributions. So maybe when I tell, you maybe think, so I didn't do anything. No, you have done a lot. Maybe when you go through the school, history, you have been writing many poems, many stories, essays for the arts purpose. Keep it all that. Like that, when Shaheen Mystery was 12 years old girl, she wrote these lines. Okay, so remember this 12 years when you speak about her. Okay, so what are the lines? Let me read the lines. I reached to touch a rainbow today. I reached up high, so high, and yet as I reached up, I could not touch the sky. So she thinks about going up. A 12 years old girl thinking of growing up and going up to the rainbow, not to this situation. So what she means, even though she reached rainbow, she could not touch the sky. It means nobody can be perfect in life. We will be perfect in our maximum. In our own maximum, we can be perfect. But beyond that, there is a limitless horizon, there is limitless space, and there is limitless progress in our life. We should need that. So coming generation will take next step, and they will come to another step, and they will go beyond that. Like what, scientists like Einstein, Albert Einstein, or whenever they found many things, some of us thought that this is the last findings. We will not have other findings. We reached in the maximum. But once they come back to India, or when they come back again to the world, when they see the invention of mobile phones, computers, they will get amazed and they will be excited to see all this. Like that, when we reach the rainbow, we will reach that rainbow to that limit, but we will understand we have to move forward. Like the more you know, the more you are aware of what you don't know. That's a great quotation. The more you know, the more you are aware of what you don't know. Okay, I will reach to touch a rainbow again. Again, I will reach that point in my life, and I'll reach up higher than high. And if I reach up high enough, I just may skim the sky. So I can skim the sky, I can take over the sky. So that's a confidence level of a girl. She was writing this poem, Shaheen Mystery. So after writing all this line, she starts talking about her. I remember sitting on the wide veranda of our Indonesian home, writing little poems and notes in a carefully guarded diary. I would sit and watch little ants carry large loads, determined to get to their destination. What was my destiny? I was only 12 years old, but what had I achieved? She was simply sitting in the veranda of her home. She was writing poems, simple lines in a diary, in a carefully guarded diary. And she was listening to ants, small ants. They were passing with their loads, and they had a determination. They were determined to get to their destination. Whenever the ants going, maybe we think many things in the nature gives us a lot of examples and a lot of motivation. So we think when the ants move, there is nothing special. Never so. They are going to a destination. At that time, Shaheen Mystery was thinking herself, I am already 12 years old girl. What did I achieve in my life? And what is my destination? Like that, you also, even if you are not 12, sometimes 16, I am like 30 or 31 or 20, 29, all the people more than 25, everyone has to think one thing. What I have achieved in my life, and what is my destiny, and where is my destination. That is a point of think. Whenever you finish this chapter, whenever you start this chapter, whenever you remember about your +2 life, always think about this. What I had achieved all this time in my life. She was 12 years old, so she was thinking about it. So she was simply sitting there in Indonesia. So she is writing about her Indonesian life. Okay. It was 1983. So whenever you write about someone's timeline or history, remember this date, 1983. We lived in Jakarta. Where is Jakarta? Jakarta is in Indonesia, in a lovely white colonial home. Colonial home means like home which we made with a square shape. Okay, colonial home with something that comes from London or Britain. Colonial home on a street that was quiet. That was quiet means very silent. So they were living in Jakarta in a colonial shape home. The home style of their home was like a colonial style. It was a pleasant, almost perfect life. Her life was perfect in Jakarta until what? Until what? See, her life was perfect before this. After the day I was taken to visit an orphanage in the city. So in the Jakarta city, Shaheen Mystery went to visit an orphanage. And before she visiting that orphanage or until that, she was happy. Who was happy? Shaheen Mystery was happy. I do not remember how the orphanage looked, but I vividly remember the children. So she tells, when I visited the orphanage, I don't remember how orphanage was looking like, his building structure or beauty. I don't remember anything. But I remember many children. I remember them vividly, means their face, different faces of different children, different orphans. I remember. Then she tells, so she could see many students and children in the orphanage. After she has seen that she could not, or after she had seen that she could not lead a comfortable life, before she seeing the orphanage and visiting the orphanage, she was very much happy. I saw crying children. So different types of children you can see whenever you visit an orphanage. Always think, when God Almighty gave you many blessings, many things, there are a lot of people, lot of children, they are not getting anything with the same age what they did, what they have done. Think about our childhood. We had fathers, mothers, and they were looking after us very well. With all the resources, they were trying maximum to give us a career. There are other children in the street, in the orphanages, in many other places. So Shaheen Mystery could see crying children, laughing children, somebody is laughing there. Other quiet children, somebody would calm there, screaming children. I hope you understand the difference between scream and cry. Is it? It's a normal one. This is like making scream. Like big sound. Okay. And I remember not knowing what to do. See, at that time when Shaheen Mystery saw all these persons, all these children, she was not at all able to think what to do at that time. I returned to the orphanage every weekend. So it was her habit. After 1 week, she used to visit orphanage again and again. Perhaps it was merely curiosity or a sense of thankfulness for all that I had, or maybe every child's real desire to learn more about the world. So I visited, Shaheen Mystery visited orphanage again and again. Why it was, she thought it like a thankfulness. She was thanking herself for all the things she got. Like us, we got many things, right? Like that, I got everything, so I should think about other children also. Or maybe a curiosity, of a small child, like me, 12 years old, Shaheen Mystery. Like me, I'm a 12 years old girl, that's why I should know about the world very well. So to know the world. So she tells 2 reasons. One thing, she was thinking of giving thankfulness to Almighty God because He has given everything to her. Second thing, just a curiosity to know about the world, different things in the world. So that's why she went to orphanage for every weekend. My father was a banker. So that's a situation. In the beginning, Shaheen Mystery gave us a picture of her. What? Just wait. Okay. In the beginning, she gave a picture about her life when she was a child. Now she comes to talk about her own life Her father was a banker who had to move cities. Growing up was a whirlwind of 10 schools across 5 countries. Look, that's why I told you she has international experience. Whirlwind means it was like curling, means I'm not an artist, simply adjust with me. Okay. So her schooling was like a whirlwind, coming from one country to going to another country. 10 schools in 5 countries. See, French, British, American, international school systems, other international school systems. So she came different countries. French school system was there, and British school system, American system, international schooling system. She was the product of all these international school systems. I began to understand that life wasn't perfect during my summer vacations. So she understood the summer vacations, life was not perfect. So she had to do something more or something different to make it enjoying one. My summers were spent between the orphanage in Jakarta. See, when she was in Tunisia, she was spending her her vacation in Jakarta and trips back to Mumbai where I volunteered. See, my summers were spent between the orphanage in Jakarta and trips back to Mumbai. Sometimes she will go to orphanage, sometimes she will come to Mumbai. In Mumbai, where she volunteered at Happy Home at School for the Blind. There she volunteered as a teacher there in Happy Home School for the Blind. So sometimes she will be there in Jakarta, sometimes she will come to Mumbai. Okay. So she came to Mumbai to serve as a teacher in a school for blinds. See, I remember thinking of the beauty you can create when you look beyond what you can see. Especially for the blind people, whenever they imagine many things which they can't see, it will be more beautiful. Sometime in life also, a fantasy will be sweeter than the fact or the reality, right? Like that, blind students, they can't see many things, but they can imagine a lot. So she just tells about school. Okay. See, the school buzzed with confident children. Look, it's a blind school. So you can see their confident children running up and down in the corridor and in the ladder, staircases. They will be running up and down. They are confident enough, even they are blind. So people will be adapted to the situation, right? We are happy with what we have. Like that blind people, the differently able children, they were also running in the staircase or playing cricket in the terrace with a ball that jingled. Like, I hope you understand the ball which blind people use it to play. A ball which will make sound, a jingling sound, and when they bowl, they can understand the variation of the ball with the sound. Then they hit it. That's it. Okay. And it was through the summer experience in India that I began to see inequity. See, she could see what difference between classes, difference between castes, everything in inequality or inequity between the people she could understand when she was spending her time in India. So I would go from a family lunch to the dining hall or at the blind school. See, after she just narrates everything. After having lunch from the home, from the dining table, she would go to orphanage. There she can see the canteen of orphanage. I hope when you picturize a canteen of an orphanage, there are many advanced canteens, hygienic nowadays. But thinking about 10 years ago, there in the orphanage canteens, it will be group of the people will be there. There will be little to eat. A little to eat means not much variety of food would not be there. Even though the society support children as much as they can, that's a fact. Anyway, from a family, she would go to orphanage. I would watch through the window of my air-conditioned car as children would beg in the street. So she was thinking about India and Indian society, Indian children. When she go through the street, she can see children begging for the alms and they will beg for the money. I would see piles of wasted, that's a great point, listen. I would see piles of wasted food at a friend's party when she come back. Whenever she come back from a party of a friend, she could see the waste of food. On the way to home, she can see a girl or a woman trying to get a food, or she will be differentiating dal and rice from that to have a food for the dinner or for any time. See, in a big party we have waste, we have big amount, piles of food. Like you can see the word piles means there are one heap of food wasted. Same time you can see a woman is trying to get one food for one time. See, meager, see, all too meager amount means small amount. Small amount of dal is like curry and rice for her family. I started to see the slums of Mumbai as a fabric of the city, means that would be the base of the city, or it's just only the base, only one part of the city will be like that. But later Shaheen Mystery could understand one thing. What was that? Suddenly they appeared to be everywhere in India, not only in the city of Mumbai. She could see the disparity or the differences between existed in different people's lives. Like there will be difference in the standard, but everyone should be able to access to the minimum ability and the minimum resources of the country. That's what Shaheen Mystery was thinking. It was a summer of 1989. See, she was talking about India and orphanage and the people condition of India. 1989, as always, I was on my vacation in India on blistering Mumbai day. My taxi stopped at a traffic signal. 3 children ran up to my window, smiling and begging. And at that moment, I had a flash of introspection. Nothing too unusual had happened, but as I broke at them, I suddenly knew that my life would have more meaning if I stayed in India. One day, when she was passing through India in a street, in her air-conditioned car, she could see 3 children, small children, came to her for what? Begging. So, looking at them, there was an introspection, means a mental spark or a flash in her mind that nothing too much, but she thought, if she would stay in India, if she stayed in India, she could do more for Indian society and she could create a meaning for her life. Looking to these 3 children. So that was a spark in Shaheen Mystery's life. Everybody will have a spark to start something. So Agansha Foundation was a dream from this spark. She got this spark when she met 3 children in a street. They were begging. So she thought, I suddenly knew that my life would have more meaning if I stayed in India. That was her comment. In the days that followed, after I have seen all the small children, after this, what happened, I kept thinking about those kids, and that moment India was answering the search for purpose that I had felt ever since I was a child. So whenever Shaheen Mystery was a child, she was thinking what to do in life. So now India gave her an answer. When she came to India, understood the situation of Indian people, understood the disparity between the children, understood the inequality in the education, understood the lack of basic needs for many people. She understood one thing. She got one thing, the meaning of her life, what she has to do in the life. That was a point from her part. And I was being challenged to find my identity. At all that time, she was challenging to find identity, what to do. But now, I wanted to be a part of making things better for children. So that was her concern. How to make things better for children. She was thinking about that, and I knew then that this could be my country and that whatever I did here could make more of a difference than in the manicured reality of my university life in States. So when she was in United States, she had a manicured. Manicured means something very smooth, like something furnished. Look, of a lawn or a garden, trimmed neatly or maintained neatly like the garden of our ideal campus. It's manicured one. So she was thinking, if I live in manicured reality of my United States, I can't make anything. But if I come to India and stay here and do many things, I can create a meaning for my life. That was the thing from the Shaheen Mystery. Nervously, a week before I was to return to Boston, I telephoned my parents to try and explain the jumbled feeling that culminated in my strong desire to move back to Mumbai. So before she was about to move from India, so she called her parents and told that she would like to stay in India. So look at the way Shaheen Mystery explained it. Parents try to explain. Jumbled feeling means mix up in a confused, untidy way. Means there is no a fixed answer. So it was a jumbled feeling which culminated, means which reached to a climax. So there was a jumbled feeling. Now I came to a climax. What is that? Strong desire to move back to Mumbai. So she had many jumbled thinkings. But she came to a result, that's to move back to Mumbai, to stay in Mumbai. So she telephoned her parents, but her parents told her, cautioned her, as now you are spending there in vacation in Mumbai, but never think that real life in Mumbai is really different. You cannot imagine that. Now you are spending vacation, that's why you feel what? Enjoyment. And another thing, you can do your undergraduation from India, 2 conditions, and they agreed. Her parents agreed to stay in India, but with 2 conditions. One condition, you should get admission in a good college or in a reputed college in India for undergraduation. And for post-graduation, you should come to us, you should travel from India. So she agreed on the basis of this 2 conditions. So good undergraduate college in the city, and later I would travel abroad for my graduate degree. That was the condition. She agreed that condition, and she was trying to get admission in a college. Okay. The only place I could think to start was St. Xavier's. This is a university. Even her parents agreed, or look at Didi part 2 means the second part, like now she has decided to stay in India. Okay, that's why I come after she came to India. Story is different, and now we are talking from an Indian perspective. Okay, her parents agreed to stay in India on one condition: to get admission in a good institution, a reputed institution. That was St. Xavier in the Mumbai. You know, there her parents, Shaheen Mystery's parents, had studied there in the same university. So she went to office. It was crowded office. You may read it with me. Okay, and she was trying to get an appointment with the principal, but she got the information that admissions were closed 2 months ago. Look at the crowded college office, and she asked for an appointment, but admissions shut 3 months earlier. So how she could get an admission? So she was told, means somebody told her, and principal doesn't give appointment to anyone. That's why it's not easy to get. So she was thinking and staying in the veranda. Then one person came and told her, do you want to meet principal? Yeah, yes. There is a side door. You may try that. Listening to that voice, she hurried to that door and met principal. That's what happened. Outside the office, talking back frustration. When she was talking back in frustration, standing there in the veranda, a student standing outside, he was witnessing, that student was witnessing communication, the dialogue between Shaheen Mystery and the assistant of the principal. He came and informed, there is a side door to the principal office, you may try that. Once he told it, what happened, Once he told, she tried. I went straight to the side door, Father Dick Cruz. So he was a principal, Dick Cruz. Look it up. Quizzically means what? He was, indicating mild and amused puzzlement, like this, quizzically. Why this lady came here without any prior information? Look, and open his mouth. That's it, okay? But before he could say anything, before Cruz could say anything, Shaheen Mystery started talking. Look at the word. She blurted out, means she was bursting out and blurting out what she had already rehearsed, already prepared. And she told, Father, my life is in your hand. Father, my life is in your hand. I want to do something for the children of India. Father, my life is in your hand. I wanted to do something for the people of India, for the children of India. You should give me an admission here, please. And I want to do something for the children of India. I don't know how, but only that I must. He was curious enough to ask me a few questions, and at the end of our conversation, he was asking me many questions. But at the end of the conversation, De Cruz agreed me to give an admission in the college, enough to ask me like, Father thankfully granted me admission to St. Xavier College. So she got admission in the St. Xavier College and she was doing her degree. I told you, BA Sociology she was doing there. She got admission in the college. And then what happened next? Now she tells about the academic system in the St. Xavier University, and she would like to compare between the academic situation in India and outside India. See, the academic system at Xavier's was different from the system in the US. Here far more a bookish. See, we have a bookish form of learning here in India, but there instead intellectual rigor. They were thinking about paper presentation and a stimulation I had received in Massachusetts. In that university she had another things. Here it was like far more bookish life. I quickly realized that I would be able to learn more in the city, beyond the textbook or beyond the classroom. So that was an understanding of Shaheen Mystery. Beyond the classroom, beyond the textbook, she could do a lot of things when she come to city, and if she wanted to do something better for India, she can study a lot of things from the city. Now that I lived in India, I wanted to understand it in a different and deeper way than I had during my summer holidays. I walked around the city just watching and listening. So now I would like to understand about India. So she was walking around the city to understand. That's a good way to understand the real fact, far from the book, far from the magazines and periodicals. It is better to travel a lot to understand different cultures, different people. Is it? Many people are crazy of traveling, but not only some tourist places, but different countries, to understand about different cultures, different people. Okay, and same time understand they are happy. Okay. One day when she was walking, I hope it's clear for you now. Into a sprawling low-income community. Sprawling means it was like a spanning one. See, sprawling, sit, lie or fall with one's arms, legs spread out in a uncanny way, means something spreading like without any structure. It was a sprawling low-income community which was a maze of tiny alleyways. Maze network of paths. Alleyways means like a valley. So it was coming. She just went to a place spreading low-income community. People there was with low income, and there were maze means group of many ways. There were lot of ways, like in a city if you can see like this, one home, another home, and there will be maze means small, a network of paths, lot of paths. So then come to next home, come then another way. This is known as maze. Look, these are ways. Okay, home. So buzzing with life. It was a busy life. It was really busy life there. An estimated 10,000 people lived here with no running water, no system of waste disposal, and shared 6 dark cubicle toilets that lined an adjoining alley. See, there were only 6 toilets. There was small one. Cubicle means a small partition of area of a room. Small partition of area. In that area, they were living, and they were living with only this much facility, only 6 cubicle bathroom. There was 6 bathroom only were there, and they were using that. We people have at least 4 or 3 bathrooms in our own home for 2 people. So looking to all that, Shaheen Mystery understood the meaning of her life again. I walked around that afternoon speaking with children, wondering how life would be different if each one of them only had access to the opportunity that would fill their greatest potential. See, to get their own potential, if they can get access to the minimum resource, not the maximum one, how it would be if they all get such things, how it would be great. That was the spark or the thinking of Shaheen Mystery when she walked through the street. Walking down the narrow passage, I must have looked a little dazed. So she was dazed means she was a bit tired. And at that day, what happened, you know? When a soft-spoken girl dressed in a beautiful sari welcomed me into her home. So when she was walking to the street, she exclaimed, or she got excited when she saw a girl wear a beautiful sari, and she invited Shaheen Mystery into her home, welcome to her home. Her name was Sandhya, looks like a Malayali name, right? She was also 18 like me, so both of them are 18 years old like your age, like many of you are 16 and 17. But she was not able to speak in English, and I was not able to speak in Hindi also. Same time, we could chat a lot. That's the way, that is a part of communication. Even though people does not know language each other, with body language, with many other things, we can express our feelings, we can express our desires, we can convey our communication, right? Like that, Shaheen Mystery and this girl of 18 interchange their communication and their ideas every day. So after that, what happened, you know, every day I would go to her house. Shaheen Mystery started going to her. After the college, Shaheen Mystery would visit the home of Sandhya. Her home was smaller than the bathroom of my house. Nothing to exaggerate. No exaggeration. If you visit Mumbai, Delhi, such great cities of India, and some parts of Kerala also, you can see such people living in a home which is shorter than your bathroom. You can see such people. Understand the blessing of Almighty which He has given you. See, smaller than the bathroom of my house. When a few children peeking, you already know that, okay? Poke their heads inside the doorway and say hi to us. Or always some children will come and tell whenever we speak, hi, like small children come. That children are important in this story or in this biography. Sandhya welcomed everybody in. And these children eventually formed my first tuition center, my first school, first class I would teach. Each day a few more kids would crowd into the little home, and day by day, children started growing up. They increased. Many children come to study, and they will study some maths and some words in English from my part. Okay. And even though I knew very little of India, I felt useful and confident. See, they will study some maths and some song and English from Shaheen Mystery. Even look at that sincere mentality of Shaheen Mystery. She was simply sitting in a home, and Sandhya welcomed her. Some new children come. So she started teaching them maths, song and English. Even though it was not a great thing, she was not aware of India a lot, but she thought it was a useful situation for everyone. That's the point about her life. Look, this became my routine. This became her routine means she started to visit school. She started to visit this home after schooling, and I will leave college as soon as I could, and I rushed to my new world in the community. Here I saw truth and hope. So in college I could not see all this thing, but here in this community I could see truth and hope. The children would shout Didi, Didi excitedly when I went there. That's why we would like to name this chapter Didi. All these children in the Mumbai city would call Shaheen Mystery what? The name Didi. Okay. Whenever someone calls us a pet name and when they give a special name for us, we will have a commitment to them. Didi means sister or elder sister. I went there, this was starting to feel like a lifelong commitment. So when people call us with love, we will have commitment with them, right? Akansha was born of the simple idea that India, so why she come to the foundation of Akansha Foundation of educational program in India, in different states of India. She came to that idea after what, she was born, simple idea that India has many space and we have enough people and we need many children to be educated also. So spaces that could be utilized for classrooms and the funds with which educate all the children, everything exists. So everything exists here in India, but we need a coordinator to do all these things. That was a point. From this point, Shaheen Mystery started thinking about India and creating a new history for India, creating a new way of teaching for small and needed children in India. That was the starting of Akansha Foundation. According to Shaheen Mystery, everything was available in India. People are there, children are there, spaces are there, but we need a person to make it all together. A coordinator always needed. Okay, so the people in the community wanted only three things, really basic needs of the people. First one is their housing. They need shelter, water and education. So three basic things of every life: housing, water and education. If people have all these things, they would be happy. So we should fulfill the basic need first of all. That was the philosophy of Akansha Foundation and Shaheen Mystery. I realized that if I wanted the students to take school seriously, they need an environment free of the community's distractions. That's a point. That's why we take separate building. Even though now we are an online platform and you are listening to my class from your home, right? One thing is there, you are, even though listening, you have some distractions like your mom calls, your siblings, they all come, then make a disturbance. So when you think about a street like this, so if we start a school or institution there in their own school or their own home, we can't make it a successful one. That's why Shaheen Mystery thought of a different place, a calm and quiet place to escape from the distraction or the disturbances of the community. And so we started the search for first Akansha Center space. I approached 20 schools in the city. Look at the number and look at the attitude of Indian people and principals. 20 schools. She searched 20 schools and were asking for a room after their regular school time, a room to teach poor people in India. But what happened, requesting to give just one classroom in their school building for 3 hours every evening. 3 hours every evening. All of them refused for the most illogical reasons, with silly reasons. All the principals, all the authorities rejected this request to teach, to give one room or two rooms for 3 hours every day evening. And look at the reasons. Some administrators claimed that the idea of teaching underprivileged children was way too revolutionary. Oh, you are coming with a revolution. So you don't teach underprivileged students. That too revolutionary. That's why we will have problem with government and other sectors. Simple, silly and illogical reasons to avoid people. And look, while others complained that they would spread disease. Look, they are also human. Don't forget that. How people dare to say that they spread disease. So underprivileged people or students or children, they live in small huts and small valleys and small streets. They spread diseases. What a serious comment was that to the other students. A principal of a reputed school even complained on how she simply could not allow. She told she can't give her room or school for what? Look at this. As the glass bangles worn by the daughters of fishermen would scratch the desk of her school. So there will be some good desk, good infrastructure in that school. So the principal, she told, glass bangles, usually you people wear golden bangles, but people are there with glass bangles, even they have no fancy bangles also. So whenever they wear that, they will scratch the desk. Look at the people of India once. And what happened, she was about to quit this idea to teach the poor children in India. She was about to quit. Then what happened? The principal, one principal of Holy Name High School in Colaba, he just told he would give a room. So she searched 20 schools, many other institutions, many of them rejected for the most illogical reason. What she was searching, she need a room to teach all this. Because if Shaheen Mystery teach all the students in their own home, there will be disturbances, community distractions will be there. So she needed a quiet, calm place. That's why she was searching many schools and many institutions. Nobody allowed. At last, this school, Holy Name School in Colaba, agreed that. And I mobilized volunteers from St. Xavier to teach, made rough plan what they teach. See, so we need teachers also to teach. So she called volunteers from St. Xavier, from her own institution, and they made a rough plan what to teach. And look, I just wanted the class to be a place where the children can feel safe. And they must feel safe whenever they are in classroom. A space where they can leave the difficulties of their lives and behind just be a children. See, behind and just be a children. So we need a place. Whenever you come to school, you should feel as a child. No any hurries of home, no any problems of home, no any disturbance from the home. You should feel as a child in a home. That was, Agansha formally came into existence when it was in 1991. And 1991, that was the official formation of Agansha Foundation. From a single class with 15, only there was 15 children. There were 15 children. Agansha grew up. Now look, the way she started that. Now Agansha has 58 centers and 6 schools within over 3,500 children. Look, there was only 1 or 2 children when she came to home of Sandhya. Now it became a bigger one. And she begged for schools and rooms. Now they have their own 6 schools, 58 centers and 3,500 children. The program developed very organically over years, like a soup made special by chefs tossing in what's needed. See, when we make a soup, tasting and toasting one and tasting and toasting another masalas and other things. See, we make a soup. If make a soup like that, that would be perfect, right? Like that, she made a blend of all its own. She made a blend of all its own. Like now they are studying the stock ingredients were basic English, maths, to that a dash of values, self-esteem and confidence. That was the main part of their syllabus. Agansha Foundation. That is the part of Shaheen Mystery. Shaheen Mystery is a well-known personality. She was living in many other countries and came to India for her degree. And she did all this. She started Agansha Foundation. Now Agansha Foundation has 58 centers in 6 schools and